Today I want to share some of our introduction struggles and our thought process as we try to acclimate Shinobi, our senior cat, who's a little over 11 years, and Minnie, who used to be a feral cat, who then was our yard cat, and now she's indoors. So it's been a long process, but hopefully this kind of video will give you some type of insight of what to expect if you're trying to introduce cats that are very different in ages, very different temperaments, and also very different backgrounds. So you'll notice that Shinobi, even though we do try to play with her, she's not very active per se. She'll look at the dog, she'll think about pawing at it, but she's not the type to go super crazy for long periods of time. She might do like small bursts of energy, but because she is older, it's not all playtime, which we found to be the biggest obstacle in the introductions because we watched a lot of videos on how to properly introduce cats. And the big thing is one, the feeding, and two, having them both be entertained on their own areas so that it's a positive experience for either of them. But when you have a cat that barely likes to play, then it makes it a lot more challenging. So, in our case, because we have a kitten who's about to be a year old, she's very playful, then that has helped us a lot because she will just play with her spider and we can call her back with the spider or the little ball thing, like the ball tunnel, and she'll play, so she'll come, greet, and then step away. But on the other side, my senior cat, Shinobi, she just looks at her super freaked out. Now, you'll notice that in these first video clips, the gate screen that we put up is a little bit too thick. But we were so concerned because Minnie could actually fit in between those gates that we were just trying to be safe. So we double layered the gate because to us, even though we would love to have them both together, their safety is their number one priority. We don't want them to end up having a cat fight that could totally be preventable. Now, I know there's a lot of people that they also say just throw them in together and they'll figure it out, but we are very paranoid about any type of altercations between them. So we'd rather them just continue to peek at each other, take their time until they can eat together and they can both be next to each other, side to side on the gate without trying to display any type of negative emotion per se. And we do know that in the end, even if we do all of this, they might still have some little like altercations and things like that. But we're hoping that by just familiarizing them, allowing each other to look at Minnie, we'll see Shinobi on her tree, just hanging out, being chill, and Shinobi looking at Minnie, playing and being silly, then it won't be such a shock when they are together sharing the same space. Now, at this point, because it has been 3 months, they are completely used to each other's smells. So they both drink from the same water bowl that we have outside, which is also our dog's water bowl. They will both lay in the same tree, similar spots, but they don't actually like the same spots, which I think is going to be great once they are together because less chances of them fighting over the same spot. And they also lay on the same ledges at the window. They don't even notice when we switch out the mats. So my mom has made mats for Shinobi and for Minnie, and both of them are perfectly fine laying on each other's mats. They don't even notice that we switched them because they're so used to each other's scent. So we know on that factor is totally okay, but we're still letting them just go at their own pace. And we know that they're now ready to mingle because even though you see that Minnie is entertained and she's very happy and doing her thing, Shinobi, she still gets that freaked out face. Even 3 months in, she's still very confused. Now, on a very big positive, the fact that she gets to see Minnie being so active has also given her like a new perspective or something of the sort because Shinobi has become more playful. She has started trying to maybe swat things and play around a little bit more and go to different sections of the tree and kind of break out her habits. So I think even though she's now mingling with Minnie, she is getting inspired by her, just seeing her play and do all of her crazy stunts, which is wonderful for us to see. If you're also trying to introduce your cats, be very careful on how they take your touch. So you'll notice that my mom will actually get to caress Minnie, and Minnie, she'll be completely fine with it. But if I was to do the same thing with Shinobi, because Shinobi's already stressed out and confused looking at Minnie, she actually takes the caressing as a negative. So it's best to really just figure out what's triggering your cat and stay away from the negative triggers. Again, from everything we've looked at, it should all be positive. So if your touch is making it worse because that they're so sewn into the other cat, could just create like this mental game in their head by accident. So just be very careful. If they don't seem to like it when you touch them, when you're getting them introduced, don't. Just keep on trying with different types of toys and making the small progress with the food bowls. You'll notice that when we are introducing them, the food bowls are pretty far apart. So as a rule, from everything we looked at, usually supposed to be about 6 feet apart, and then you slowly bring them in together, and you'll know that your cat is comfortable or they're not, or you move too fast, because they will actually stop eating. So Shinobi will let us know. She's the main one that freaks out over this. She's very picky and very particular with everything, and she's been like that her whole life. And if we move the bowl just an inch too close where she is not ready for it, she will actually not eat, or she'll eat just enough to get her through the rest of the day or the night. Now, as part of our next attempt to switch things up, because we were getting stagnant with Shinobi not being that interactive and Minnie not getting to see her, we did end up putting a screened in section overlapping Shinobi's gate so that Minnie could be in the hallway playing, and Shinobi, if she goes to her tree, she can still play, and Shinobi can now clearly see from her safe space. So even though our intention from the very start was for Shinobi to know that she was the queen and everything is on her terms, we actually figured that by switching them in the morning feedings, we do Minnie's room, and then Shinobi will do at night. Then that helps each of them feel safe, and it's actually helped out a lot with Shinobi's progress, feeling more comfortable to come near and play. And even though Minnie sometimes, like, she does peek out with her little beans and Shinobi's not all that excited, we think that these small interactions, they will end up being positive at the end. So stay tuned. We will continue on powering through. This is definitely not a quick progress, and a lot of people seem to do this in 2 weeks, and we're now over 3 months, and we'll continue to let it be as long as it is, because at the end, all that matters is that our little ones are happy and loved.